Hello and welcome to the free motion challenge quilting along dot to dot quilting. In this free video series, I'm going to show you how to use my dot to dot technique to create intricate looking designs with little to no marking on your quilt. You'll learn the two basic shapes that make up the dot to dot technique, as well as several variations, and I'll show you how to use this technique in different areas of your quilt. To learn more about the challenge, as well as how to get the tip sheets, how to join the Facebook group or email list, check out the description box below for all those links, or you can visit dot-to-dot-fmq.com for all the information. Okay, so this is the first week, and are you ready for your first challenge? Your challenge is to quilt the diamond design and variations on your quilt. The diamond design is so basic in how it goes together that after you see it, you might think, really? That's it? But let me tell you, it's so versatile. You can use it in so many different ways. It's definitely one worth learning. So let's check out the diamond design. The dots, or reference points that we're going to use, are two opposite corners and a point about a ½ inch inside the other corners. If you'd like, you can mark out your dots before you get started. Use the Basic 8 stencil to help me keep those markings symmetrical. Or you could just eyeball it, which is what I usually do. Starting at any corner, I'm going to quilt a line till I'm at the dot just inside the next corner. Then continue on to the next one after that, touching the corner. If it helps keep you on track, you can say touch, don't touch, touch as you work through the block. I mean, it'll help you keep on track, but it is a little awkward if somebody walks in while you're saying that. But hey, if it results in great quilting, who cares? And you'll repeat your way around the block, touching and not touching, returning to the starting point. That's what makes this design so great. You can get into the block, quilt it, come back to your starting point, and move on. It's efficient and good looking. What more can you say about it? Now first we're gonna quilt this with our free motion quilting foot. You could use the walking foot, but that means you'd have to turn the quilt a lot. And on a bigger quilt, that's gonna be a little bit of a pain. Before we get started, let's just settle this one thing. We're not aiming for straight lines, we're aiming for straight-ish. Ish, people. We just want it straight-ish. It doesn't have to be perfect, because once that whole block is filled in, all you're gonna see is the overall texture. So just aim for ish. So I'm starting at this corner, and I'm going to quilt a diagonal line to just about a ½ inch inside that next corner. Now this movement will be diagonal, so it might help if I twist the quilt just a little bit so that I'm moving more in a vertical or horizontal motion. I'm not talking about turning the whole quilt around, I'm just talking about twisting that center right there to make it a little easier. So I'm not gonna look at the needle, I'm actually gonna look at my ending point and try to quilt in a smooth motion. Even if it doesn't perfectly land at the point I want it to, that smooth line is gonna make it look good. All right, so I'm touching, not touching, it's time to touch my next corner. Again, this movement's gonna be a little more diagonal, so I might twist it just a bit, so I'm moving horizontal and quilt to my next dot. Now for the next step, it's actually behind my foot, so I can't quite see where I'm going, so I might tweak it to the side a bit and then just try to get it as close as I can. Working my way around the block until I get back to my starting point. And voila, there's our finished design. There's only one problem with it. There's not enough quilting. We know I love to quilt things to death. The great thing about this design is that you can easily make it fit blocks of all sizes by just adding more echo lines, which is what I'm gonna do with this block right here. This time I'm gonna use a quilting ruler. I always like to start with the needle in place first, and then I'll position the ruler where I want it to go. The tricky thing about using a ruler is that I have to remember that there's a space in between the needle and the edge of the foot. If I line the ruler directly up on my dot, it's gonna be off by about 1/4 inch. So if my dot were right here, I'm gonna position my ruler right over it and then back it up about 1/4 inch or so. Then I'm gonna move smoothly to that point. It's gonna be the same when I quilt to my next corner. I'm gonna position it on that corner, back it up just a bit, and quilt right into that area. And I'm just gonna repeat that around the block until I get back to the starting point. In a perfect world, all those lines are gonna go to the corner. But in a perfect world, we wouldn't have to wind bobbins because we could put whole spools of thread under the machine, and our laundry would fold itself. But this isn't a perfect world. We're just focused on getting this quilt finished. So get the lines as close as you can and then just move on. Speaking of moving on, depending on the quilt, you might not want to end up right where you started. You might want to end up on the opposite side of the block. For instance, if you're quilting a row of squares. If that's the case, after you're done quilting your design, go ahead and quilt another straight line directly across to the opposite side. That way you can go immediately into quilting your next block. There are going to be those days that you don't feel like quilting straight lines. Or you feel like quilting them, but your hands won't quilt them the way your mind wants you to. If that happens, just replace those straight-ish lines with curvy lines. You'll still follow the same steps, touching one corner, not touching the other, and the result is a curvy dot-to-dot design. Just gorgeous. Quilting the diamond design on a long arm is pretty much the same. The only difference is that I always use a ruler since I can't quilt a straight diagonal line without one. Well, sometimes I can't quilt them with a ruler, but that's besides the point. I'm going to work my way around the block, returning to the starting point. Repeat the steps inside the first diamond. It's going to fill in the area and add even more detail to your block. All right, now that you've seen how this basic design goes together, this is where I'm gonna wow you with the variations. Now, it's this point of a class or video where I kind of start feeling like an infomercial, but wait, there's more, buy now. Here's the deal. These variations are just meant to inspire you. They're not meant to be overwhelming. It's almost like my persuasive argument to make you like them as much as I do. Okay, so first up, we have the double diamond. This design's so nice, you'll quilt it twice. It's as easy as quilting the diamond design, then traveling along the seam to the next corner, and quilting it again in the opposite direction. Although, if you don't want to travel, you could break thread and start a new line of quilting. Or how about this variation, X marks the spot. You can either quilt an X or just mark it in the middle, then work your way around the block, touching and not touching those corners. Or to create secondary patterns, you can quilt just half of the diamond design. Quilt one side of the design as normal, then return back to the starting point. And if you want, you can fill in the rest of the block with a different quilting design. It may look basic by itself, but when you quilt it along a row of blocks, it makes an amazing secondary pattern. You can try it in borders or charm quilts. Or there's the on-point variation, where instead of using the corners as my dots, I'm using the middle point of the sides to create that shape. This is going to look amazing in the middle of more complex blocks, or just to add a little bit more detail than your regular diamond design. Okay, so that is just the beginning of all the variations that you can quilt with this design. And that's why I have a free downloadable PDF with tips and quilting diagrams. But if you want to learn a little bit more about the diamond design, or you want to take your quilting to the next level, I put together a special resource just for you. This supplemental material includes 8 pages of diagrams, an expanded tips section, as well as pictures of the designs on actual quilts. You can download the resource guide for $2.99. To find out more information about it or to purchase it, just check out the description box below or go to dot-to-dot-fmq.com. Now, if you are quilting along with me, I want you to quilt the diamond design and variations in a row of squares highlighted in red on this quilting diagram. You can use the variations that I've showed you, or you can come up with your very own. And I'll see you next week for the next video in our free motion challenge quilting along, the starburst design, where we learn the wedge. I'll see you then.